Hello everyone, welcome to SV Union High School and Junior College. All the students of 5th standard are welcome to my YouTube channel. Students, we are going to continue with Environmental Studies Part 1 for Standard 5. In the previous video, we have completed the first part of lesson number 6, Rules are for Everyone. Today we will continue the second part of it, that is changes in rules for the society. In the next slide we will be seeing about the learning objectives from this lesson. Let's continue. Learning objectives are rules of social life, second, laws of nature, third, changes in rules of the society, fourth, rules against discrimination, point 5, that is customs and traditions, work done by some Indian social workers against unwanted social customs, and last point we are going to study, that is protect the environment. So students, let's see what we have learned actually in the previous video. They have asked few questions about which one of these rules do you feel needs to be changed. The answer in one sentence was like unnecessary honking of vehicles, speed of the vehicle should be limited. The second question was, what other rules do you think are needed for better discipline in traffic? The answer is, if everyone follows the rules, accidents will reduce. So let's see what are we going to highlight the previous points of this lesson. Importance of rules in the society. We follow traffic rules so that traffic moves smoothly. In the same way, there are rules of social life that tells us what each person should be doing. Rules need to be made to specify each person's duties and responsibilities. Point number 4, if we follow the rules, our day-to-day life becomes disciplined. And last point we have studied about we can work more efficiently if rules are followed. Now if you are in the class, for an example, what you have to follow in the society, the rules were, I will treat school property with care. You cannot just handle or break anything in the school because that belongs to the school property. And the next point is, I will raise my hand before I speak or stand. Now these are the few manners which we come to know right from our house, that we cannot speak anywhere outside publicly anyhow. We have to raise our hand if we want to speak or clear our doubts. Let's check out the next point. Rules are meant for everybody. They apply equally to all. No one is above the rules. Disobeying the rules leads to punishment. There is no discrimination in punishments for breaking the rules. In this way, equality is the basis of rules. Now, let's start with second point, that is changes in rules for the society. Changes in rules for the society, let's read and then I will explain it to you. A society works according to certain rules. We make the rules ourselves. We follow these rules because they are meant for the common good. Proper changes are also introduced in the rules made for a society. There is a difference between the rules of society and the laws of nature. Natural occurrences follow laws of nature. We cannot change the laws of nature. That is, the rising and setting of the sun and the changes in the season never stop. The law of gravity does not change. The rising and falling of the tides, the phases of the moon, All of these things occur according to the laws of nature. Nature's laws are constant and fixed. They do not ever become outdated. However, human laws need to be changed with changing conditions. The laws followed in India under the rule of the British were different. When India gained independence, the situation changed and the laws of civic life changed accordingly. For example, after independence, the voting age was 21 years. But students, remember, after 1988, the voting age was lowered to 18 years. Now, students, let's try and understand what are the rules for the society and the laws of nature. Now in the above slide you can see that society works according to certain rules. Means here it is telling us that we have to follow certain rules and regulations. If you are going in the bank, you just can't go anywhere in the bank and roam and come outside. You have to know in which section what is going on. You have to stand in the queue. You have to ask for your doubts. You cannot increase your volume and speak to somebody else with anyhow. In the second slide you will come to know that we make the rules ourselves so that the works go smoothly, we become disciplined, and yes, we should become respected in the society. We follow these rules because they are meant for common good. For example, we can see no parking, that means you don't have to park over there. No crossing means you cannot cross the road from there. No honking means wherever you see. If you see schools or hospitals, you should not continuously keep on honking. No hunting. Killing somebody is an offense. You should not kill someone because it is all nature's gift. God has gifted us. You should not kill somebody. Now this point is very necessary. Use of dustbin. Whether we are in school, whether we are at house, you should not throw something outside your house. हमारा घर clean होना चाहिए. Our house should be very much clean and the other side of the house or other side of the road is very dirt. It should not happen. Everything, whatever you are getting waste material, it has to be thrown in the dustbin. So that these rules are meant only for the common good. Let's see the next point. Proper changes are also introduced in the rules made for a society. Now in this picture you can see there are very small children where in the construction side you can see these students doesn't go to school, they stick to their parents. Parents don't allow them to go to school, and for what happens to these children? These children have the habit of working. What working? And these children are actually called as child laborers. But according to RTE, now what is the full form of RTE? That means right to education. Whether they are poor or average, whether they are rich, everyone, each and every child have got the right to have a free education. That is, according to RTE, all the children should study. Proper changes are also introduced in the rules made for the society. Now if you see it in all the schools, they are providing free midday meals, they are providing textbooks so that students can work, students can enjoy their school life. Students have to study, they have to make their life, they have to make their career. Now in the next slide there is written there is a difference between the rules of the society and the laws of nature. Now society has been created by human beings, but laws of nature has been created by nature or by God. So these rules cannot be same. It is completely different. Rules for the society, human beings prepare, and laws of the nature, who does it? The God does it. So there is a difference between the rules of the society and the laws of nature. Let's see the laws of nature. What difference do they have? The laws or pattern followed by natural occurrences are called the laws of nature. Point number 2, the rising and setting of sun, the change in the seasons, the rising and falling of tides, the phases of moon, etc. all follow the laws of nature. The laws of nature are constant, fixed, and cannot be changed. These laws of nature never become outdated. Now in the picture below you can see it over here, the rising of the sun, the setting of the sun, the change in the seasons, the phases of the moon. This we have already studied in lesson number 1. Now these laws are made by the nature. Natural occurrences follow laws of nature. We cannot change the laws of nature. Now if you want that today there should be no sunrise, you cannot say that. This happens regularly, continuously, and without default. The rising and setting of the sun. Now if you see, at particular time there is sunrise, and in the evening the sun sets. Now that is a fixed, it is constant, it is not going to change according to our mood. Now if you see in the next slide, you will also come to know about the changes of the rising and setting of the sun, and the change in the seasons never stop. In 12 months we have 3 seasons. We have rainy season followed by winter season followed by summer season. Every 4 months there is a change in the seasons. Okay, natural occurrences follow laws of nature. What is the meaning of natural occurrences? Now in previous chapter number 3, we have already studied about this, the earth and its living world. If you remember, we have studied about the water cycle, evaporation, formation of clouds, rainfall. This everything is done by the nature. This cannot be done by the human being. These are the laws of nature which cannot be changed. Now if you can see, the rising and setting of the sun and the change in the seasons never ever stop. Sun rises in the morning and it rises in particular direction only. Which direction? The sun rises in the east. Then where is the sun setting? The sun sets in the west. They doesn't change their settings also. They doesn't change their directions also. The sun rises in the morning. The sun sets in the evening, means there is the law of nature. It is constant, it is fixed. Now students, let's understand what is the meaning of the changes in the seasons never stop and laws of gravity does not change. If you see it, we have 12 months right from January till December, and if you see in this 12 months we have 3 seasons and every season is having 4 months. Now you will ask me how. Now if you see June, July, August, September we have rainy season. October, November, December, January we have winter season. Followed by February, March, April, May, we have summer season. This cycle doesn't change for anyone. This is fixed. It is constant. Understood, my dear students? Now let's see what is the meaning of law of gravity. Now law of gravity means what? Gravitational force. Whatever fruits are there which is hanging on the trees, it is coming down on the ground. Now how does this happen? And this law of gravity does not change. The trees bear with flowers and fruits, and this is happening because of the nature. Now let's understand the next point, that is called as high tide and low tide. Students, you must have already visited some places to nearby the sea coast. Okay, if not, you must have actually seen it on the TV, in the movies. Now what is the meaning of high tide or low tide? High tides are called as rising tides and low tides are called as falling tides. The rising and falling of the tides and the phases of the moon, all of these things occur according to the law of the nature. Nature's laws are constant and fixed. They do not ever become outdated. Now, if you see rising tides and falling tides, this happens because of the phases of the moon. Phases of the moon means we have already studied in lesson number 2. That is called as Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha. That means fortnight of waxing moon and fortnight of waning moon. Together it is called as the lunar month. So from this we understand that laws of nature or nature's laws are constant and fixed. They do not ever become outdated. Laws of nature does not change like the rules in the society. Now let's understand the rules for the society and why it has to be changed accordingly. However, human laws need to be changed with changing conditions. Now, if you remember, now in this COVID-19 situation, everything was under lockdown. Now, we have to make it compulsory. If it was not under control, people would have died. There would have been more amount of people who would have suffered with this coronavirus. Now, if you see it, people have become more aware about cleanliness. Every now and then, if they step outside the house also for any single work, for any other important work, they first come to their house, they sanitize themselves, they wash their hands continuously, they don't touch directly or they don't enter some in other places also. That means nature's law is continuous, is constant, but human laws needs to be changed. Now, when was this actually implemented? These laws were implemented at the time of under the rule of the British. The laws followed in India under the rule of the British were completely different. Students, you are very much aware that India was under the control of British. When India gained independence, the situation changed and the laws of civic life changed accordingly. After the independence, students, remember we have to follow our rights. We have to know about our rights, and these rights were written in a book which is called as Constitution of India. A small example, what has changed after independence, okay? After independence, the voting age was 21 years. Now, if you see driving license, voting age, it was up to 21 years. But later on, there was a drastic change in the years. People can vote. They have told that people can vote after the age of 21. This change has happened after 1988. The voting age was lowered till 18 years. I hope so, students, you must have understood that the change in the rules for the society and the change for the laws of nature are completely different. Now, in the next part of the lessons, we are going to study about protecting our environment and what are the points which we have to concentrate and highlight them. Okay, students? Thank you, everyone.